Okay, so this is a really sad story, and I'm surprised that this author decided to share this with the world because, well, we live in an age now in the digital era where a lot of people are very critical and very much so quick to scoff at people's troubles, especially when you share pain from your life. Oftentimes, unless it's via music, and even then, people also can be critical when you express yourself and your emotions and they're not to the best of feelings, and it's not about being happy and you're actually expressing that, hey, I'm kind of feeling lonely. The internet will get at you very heavy. So the fact that the creator of Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, Rave Master, and many other works, Hiro Mashima, came out and said kind of the origins of Fairy Tail and how it reflected from his personal life is some very heavy stuff. And Hiro Mashima is no stranger to sharing his thoughts, his feelings, and things about life in general. He's been one of the most consistent creatives in the manga world, spanning decades, creating multiple manga, working on TV series, designing video games. Like, this man has done an incredible amount of stuff over the last few decades, and ultimately to hear how one of his biggest smash hit series actually came about from his real life pain, wow, it's definitely something very heavy. So yeah, let's get into what Hiro Mashima, the creator of Fairy Tail, actually said. And of course, before we continue, if you would hit that subscribe button and that bell, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd be able to bring you more stories such as this one. The article starts off, Hiro Mashima confesses that Fairy Tail was born out of his loneliness. Would you believe that a mangaka's successful tale or tale of friendship was born out of loneliness? It's an underdog origin story of an artist like Hiro Mashima. The wizards gathered at New York Comic-Con for the spotlight panel on the famed mangaka who debuted with Rave Master in the Weekly Shonen magazine from 1999 to 2005. He became most famous for Fairy Tail, published in Weekly Shonen magazine in 2006 and adapted into a hit 2009 anime series. Just quickly, I remember getting into Fairy Tail very early on. I think the anime had like about 24 episodes. The Fairy Tail adventures continue in its currently running sequel, Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, illustrated by Atsuo Ueda, while its JC staff-produced anime adaptation premiered in July 2024. Shinji Ishihara is the chief director, and Toshinori Watanabe is the director. The 100 Years Quest is an insurmountable quest, but Team Natsu is on it. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I don't want to give away whether they can finish the quest, Mashima teased. And I'll just say, because I did read Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest manga a bunch of years back, and I remember it was actually way better than Fairy Tail, at the very least for the like 20 or 30 chapters that I had read. But I will say that, come on dog, they gotta finish the quest. I know it's 100 years quest, but come on, that's the point of the story. It's like Naruto not becoming Hokage, like nani? However, let's get back into the serious stuff, okay? A Wolverine cosplayer tossed the mangaka the question that unexpectedly punched an emotional gut. Did Mashima base Fairy Tail, a story of friendship, on his personal life? That's when he spilled it. To tell you the truth, I wrote the story because I had no friends. My loneliness is what you're seeing. Of course, the room raised their hands to offer to be his friend. And before we continue, I definitely wanted to express how relatable that story can be, probably for a lot of people in general. I remember when I first started YouTube way back in 2010, one of the main reasons why I did it was I just wanted to find some more like-minded friends in terms of people that were into the stuff that I was into, anime and manga, because especially back in that time, being an anime and manga fan was not a cool thing. You was, you know, considered a nerd, a dork, a geek, a dweeb. It just wasn't sociably acceptable to be an anime and manga fan. However, I had found a small niche community online on YouTube, and I wanted to be a part of that community. I wanted to talk to people about the latest stuff going on in the world of Naruto and latest DVDs that I have bought of anime. Like, that's something that I really wanted to be involved in. I wanted to find essentially friends that I could share my passions with. So him saying that already strikes a major chord with me, that ForneverWorld was partially born in the same light. The panel didn't open with this tale of woe, with Mashima first greeting the New York Comic-Con fans with a cheery, "What's up, guys?" The most proud moment is being the author of Fairy Tail. Let's have fun together today. This was his third visit to New York, and often for New York Comic-Con, which once granted him a meetup with the English dub cast of Fairy Tail. Fans whooped when he passed compliments to Todd Havicorn for his impressive work as Natsu's English voice. Shout out to Todd Havicorn and the English dub of Fairy Tail in general. Like, that dub is amazing, and I think they nailed it. On the stage, stage, he also produced 2 drawings on the live feed. Every time his hand manifested another character, the fans squealed. While it's public information, twice did Mashima find himself crediting Dragon Ball by the late Akira Toriyama, who passed away in March, as an inspiration for Fairy Tail. And I'm gonna just interject right there of, I'm sure Dragon Ball inspired every single mangaka that is creating in one form or another as of this time, and especially back in that era. But come on, dog, we see the One Piece influence as well. I'm just saying, not to take nothing away from it, it's just an observation. Did Mashima intend the Fairy Tail sequel? No, it was the decision of corporate. When I was working on the original series, it never occurred to me to have a sequel. To be clear, the 100 Years Quest is no less a labor of pride for Mashima, so the storyboard and storyline development is all by me. There are moments where I even surprise him, Atsuo Ueda, again the artist of the manga, in the direction where the story goes. Which I also want to throw in that artist has Mashima's art style down packed. Like, if I didn't know any better, I would 100% say, no, Mashima is drawing Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest as well, because it looks pretty freaking close to the original Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail couldn't hog the spotlight though, with Celebration also paid to Eden Zero, Rave Master, and Dead Rock. Oh snap, I forgot about Dead Rock. That manga was pretty cool from the first few chapters that I read. One fan inquired about Rave Master and whether Mashima would be interested in the return of the anime adaptation to finish the saga. I'm always honored when I hear that, but to tell the truth, I like the new work that I'm doing, so right now, it's not in my heart to do a Rave Master continuation anime. If it comes up as an opportunity, maybe, perhaps. He's basically saying, bruh, I have no interest in that right now. If a studio hits him up like, yo dog, we got a check for you, let's redo this Rave Master, then I'm sure he'll jump on board, but right now, it's not in his mind. Then he moved on to a real serious question about Dead Rock. When crafting a character who very much wants to quote-unquote kill God, he said, I wanted to try something edgy for a change and do something I haven't done before. Mashima also wrote a crossover in Mashima's Heroes. Does that indicate a connected universe in Mashima's stories? He said, I don't think of the world being connected, but if featuring his heroes across his work helps draw his readers into his other story sagas, he doesn't mind benefiting from it. Certainly, the fairy tale theme of friendship resonated with its fans. It helped me get through a lot of my struggles in high school and helped me connect with my friends on a deeper level, one fan told Mashima. There was a point where Mashima realized that Fairy Tail wasn't just a local success, but a global one. When first invited to New York Comic Con, I didn't believe there was a worldwide audience and was immediately surprised by the warmth of the fan base at New York Comic Con. Yo, every time I hear authors say that, I always be like amazed at like, wow, y'all really don't understand the impact that y'all be having when y'all release these comics. Most of the stuff that I've talked about on YouTube in one form or another has definitely impacted my life. Like, I can speak that Dragon Ball and Naruto and One Piece and Bleach really helped shape my life in one form or another, not just only on the financial aspects of, yes, it definitely helped to birth the ForneverWorld and all the things that came along with it, but just in general, if you really take in some of the lessons of just be a good person, it definitely can impact your life, and it has for me. So when these authors be a little clueless as to just how much people really love them, I kind of be in disbelief, like, bruh, I've been talking about your stuff every freaking week for years upon years. You should know by now that there's a lot of love for you out here, big dog. He dispensed some inspiring words about artistry being attached to humanity rather than a technical skill. As an artist, one of the most important things is empathy and being receptive to the world around you. So instead of just continuing on the technical aspect, I want artists to get out in the world because that would enrich you. And then the person that was speaking to him kind of added in something that gave me a little chuckle. They say in English, touch grass. For me, there is a part of me that has achieved a part of success, and at that same time, I feel that I haven't fully succeeded, he confessed. One of the things that I think is important for me is I don't say I want to do something. I say I'm going to do something. And I love that that's where the article ends right there, of something very inspiring, even though initially this started off with something very heavy and very sad of him saying that basically he started Fairy Tail because he was lonely. Ultimately, him going for it and creating this comic that allowed him to become a global success, which I'm sure brought forth a lot of things in his life that he actually wanted. Him ending this with saying, I don't just say I want to do something, I say I'm going to do it. I hope that inspires you watching right now. You can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it. Don't let the loneliness that you're feeling, don't let those feelings that are harboring deep in your soul stop you from doing and becoming what you want to be.
What do you know about losing everything that you had? What do you know? What do you know? Tell me though.